Could an impact guard like Scary Terry, aka Terry Rozier, be on his way to the Lakers? And Anthony Davis is playing the best basketball of his career. And I'm here to break down why. What's good, y'all, and welcome to another Lakers Digest video. I'm your host, Okechi Apakama, and before we get into everything of today's video, guys, I want to bring your attention to something. There is 93% of you guys who have recently watched our videos who are not subscribed to the channel just yet. If you guys want more of that Laker news, like reactions, trade rumors, game recaps, just every and all things LA Lakers, you guys want to come right here to Lakers Digest so you guys do not miss a moment, guys. Now, with that out the way, let's hop straight into the topics of today's video as we have a few to get to today. So, first up, could Terry Rozier be on his way to LA? So, the Lakers have been linked to guys like Zach LaVine and DeJounte Murray. However, I think this recent name, Terry Rozier, could possibly be the best fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. As recently as Johan Buha of The Athletic, and who covers the Lakers, said this on a podcast that about the Lakers needing some offensive juice, saying that they could make a splashy trade for a guy like a Zach LaVine or DeJounte Murray, or a smaller move for like a role player like a Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, or Terry Rozier, as the Lakers are currently rated 23rd in offensive rating. So I think this name, Terry Rozier, that he's been the new name, as we've already covered names like Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, DeJounte Murray, and Zach LaVine on this channel here. But Terry Rozier is the new name, and then I think he has probably the best odds to fit more perfectly to what the Lakers got, as he's the guy that he can be one who can pass, dribble, and shoot, and then he's also a guy that can be a point of attack defender, as he can get skinny and get through screens. And most importantly, he's a guy that's been through it. So he was been through that the playoffs runs early in his career with the Celtics, and he played pretty well for them in those spurts. So he has that it factor. He has that no fear, can take the big shots when need be, because if he comes over to a team like the Lakers, he's gonna have those open shots and have those opportunities to knock those down, especially playing next to guys like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And the biggest thing about what I think is gettable about this guy is he's more affordable than for what guys like Zach LaVine or DeJounte Murray, as Zach LaVine is going to be owed $40 million next season, and then guys like DeJounte Murray you're going to be paying up until the year 2027, and then he also has a player option after the year after that, while a guy like Terry Rozier, who's going to be owed just $47 million for the next 2 seasons. And then he's also a guy that has a team option after that. So you can have a couple things that you can do with him. He's more affordable as talking about price range. And then also you probably don't have to spend as much picks or players to get a guy like Terry Rozier, because a team like the Hornets, which has kind of been falling out of favor recently, and then they might be selling as they want to build around a guy like LaMelo Ball and just see where their future takes them. So getting a guy like Terry Rozier, where you don't have to give up a guy like Austin Reaves, where teams like the Atlanta Hawks are asking for. So you can get a guy like Terry Rozier in your rotation, a guy who's been in the playoffs, the guy that can shoot, dribble, and pass, and is very good at attacking the rim. So because they need sort of that person who can get downhill and attack closeouts and just be a very good third option on the offensive end. And he's been showing that this season for the Charlotte Hornets, as he's been averaging career highs, and he's averaging 24 points per game, and then averaging a career high at 7 assists per game, shooting 46% from the field, 37% from 3, and shooting about 83% from the free throw line. So Terry Rozier just across the board has been playing tremendous basketball, albeit for a lowly Hornets team that hasn't been doing too much winning. But he's a guy that can definitely help your squad, as he's been someone that the Hornets have looked to since LaMelo Ball has been injured, to essentially run their offense and run things through him. And he's been doing just fine that. And now if you put that guy in the Los Angeles Lakers, where he's probably the third or even fourth guy when you have guys like Austin Reaves on your roster. So he can be a guy who can just fit in, play where he's most comfortable, and then he's a guy who also can take over quarters and moments, as when he gets hot, he's a person that you want to keep feeding the basketball, and then he can really win you a quarter and win you some stretches of games. That's very important and very missed for the Los Angeles Lakers, as they've been one of the bottom teams in offense efficiency, and also like 3-point percentage. And a guy like Terry Rozier will bring that right up for you. As like I said, he's been averaging career highs across the board. And then you want this type of player on your roster because like I said, he has that it factor. So he can take that big shots and not be phased by it, which is highly what you need, especially when you have a guy like this, as this is leading me into my next topic, playing the way that he's playing. And that's Anthony Davis, who is playing the best basketball of his Lakers career. So Anthony Davis has been a guy that's just been tremendous, especially since the in-season tournament where he had that monstrous 40-20 game against the Indiana Pacers, and then he's just been on a roll ever since, as his jumper has now found him, and then he's been hitting mid-range jumpers, three-pointers, just really doing everything from all aspects of the floor for the Los Angeles Lakers. And just take a look here for Anthony Davis on the season. And it's been a tremendous go about it. While he's been averaging 25.7 points per game, one of the league leaders in reboundings at 12.2 a game, 3.4 assists, 56% from the field, 35 from three, and then shooting 80% from the free throw line. So back to his career averages. So he's been tremendous this season. But if we look even closer, how he's been since the in-season tournament, so this past month or so, and Anthony Davis has been immaculate, averaging about 31 points per game, 12.1 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 2.4 blocks in a whopping 38.1 minutes per game, and he's shooting 60% from the field, 42% from three, and 76% from the line. So what Darvin Ham also said a little about him, that saying he's playing his best basketball in the time that he's seen him here. And then so Anthony Davis has just been on a tear throughout in this one. So with Anthony Davis playing like this, like the Lakers have to capitalize on the situation here, because he's been playing well. He's been playing a lot of minutes too. So, you know, some of the injury issues of the past haven't really been messing with him. But like, I think this is probably the best stretch that he's had in totality of his career, as everything has sort of come together for Anthony Davis. The defense has always been there from day one, but with the offense now coming in on a nightly basis and in the differentiation of ways. So he's been a guy that when the season first started, he was scoring a lot of low post shots, a lot of dunks, a lot of things around the basket. But now he's expanding his range. His mid-range jumper is falling. He's shooting 1.5 threes per game, and he's making about one per game. So he's been a guy has been knocking down his three-point shots, been knocking down the mid-range shots, and then has all of those post moves along to go with his ball handle, and then also his improved passing awareness, which is something that you can't really put a stat on, but like he's been very much better, at passing out of the double team. So when teams double team in the post, he's been very good about getting the ball out quickly, and also maybe even reestablishing himself, or either getting inside position and getting some offensive rebounds. And then also being a guy, when he sets screens, he's rolling hard. So even when he doesn't get the basketball, he is opening up his teammates for easier shots. Guys like Austin Reaves, who likes a lot of floaters, Taurean Prince, who can be a guy who can mix it up, and obviously LeBron James, one of his main pick and roll partners. And then D'Angelo Russell off the bench has also been benefiting from Anthony Davis' hard rolls too. So this has been the best that we've probably seen him in his Lakers tenure. A lot of people want to talk about how he was in the bubble, but then he also had a lot of help defensively with guys like JaVale McGee, Markieff Morris, and then Dwight Howard, with all three of those guys helping him. But for the most part, he's been the main guy in the middle for the Los Angeles Lakers. And while LeBron has had his moments, and then Hachimura can do some things, especially when he's focused, not too many guys have been really helping him too much on the defensive end. So he's been doing all of this while carrying the Lakers to a top 10 defense in the NBA, which I think is amazing for this guy. And if it wasn't for the Lakers standing in the league at 19-19, if they were around the fourth or third or even fifth seed, I think Anthony Davis will be getting MVP consideration. That's how well this guy has been playing. And with everything that he's been doing for the Los Angeles Lakers, essentially, like, it is impossible for the Lakers to play well with him without the floor. And then people always wonder why the Lakers aren't as good with Anthony Davis on the floor. Well, Anthony Davis does so much good things for you, not only in his defensive ability, but also what he's been doing on the offensive end with his shoot, pass, and dribble, like where his ball handle has been killing a lot of opposing centers. And then even guys who would many people will consider defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, he has cooked him twice in the past a couple of times that they've faced him, and he's had about over 30 points in both of those games. So Anthony Davis has been playing extremely good basketball, and then it's really showed as he's been kind of hovering the Lakers above ground here in this rough stretch here. But that's probably going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys comment on this one. Do you agree with me that Terry Rozier is probably the best fit for the Los Angeles Lakers? Like I said, he's probably the most affordable. He's probably the guy that you don't have to spend the most. And then he's a guy that you can make a trade for and keep Austin Reaves. And then do you guys also agree that Anthony Davis is playing the best basketball of his career? Let me guys know in the comments down below. I have been your host, Okechi Apakama, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.